Here is a quiz question for you guys. Which gin brand is the world's largest selling gin brand? And here's another thing. I think even if I gave you 3 choices, I'm pretty sure that you would guess it wrong. So let me surprise you big time. Hi guys, and welcome to High on Gin. My question to you is very simple. Which gin is the most sold gin in the world? Have you thought of a name? Well, let me see if I can guess which one you thought of. There's a pretty good chance that you thought of Beefeater, one of my favorite go-to gins that I find very smooth and very versatile. But they only sell about 30 million liters a year, so therefore they are only number 5 on the list of top selling gins in the world. Another good guess would be the popular Tanqueray gin. This juniper heavy gin sells around 40 million liters a year, so no, only number 4. And at number 3, here we go, at number 3 we have this more floral, spiced and peppery gin, the Bombay Sapphire gin. And the reason why they're only number 3 is that they only sell 42 million liters a year. Have you guessed it yet? Well, at number 2 is, ta-da, Gordon's gin. By selling more than 60 million liters of gin every year, this very classic gin with its core taste of juniper comes in at number 2. So if it isn't Beefeater or Tanqueray or Bombay Sapphire or Gordon's gin, who is it? Well, let me give you a couple of hints more. The distillery is more than 100 or almost 190 years old. And it sells more than the 4 gin sells together. Actually, it sells, wait for it, 1.5 times more than these other 4 gins together. According to Statista.com, a major leader of market and consumer data, and their statistics published August 13, 2020, at number 1 with a sale of a staggering 260 million liters of gin each year, the Ginebras San Miguel gin from the Philippines is the best-selling gin in the world. And if you, as I did, thinks, who the is Ginebra San Miguel gin, it could be because the Philippine people are said to consume most of the local gins themselves. The more than 63 million adult Filipinos drink 3.5 times more gin per person than what the Brits are drinking. So yes, they produce a lot of this gin and they drink a lot of this gin. And if you're still puzzled about the company behind the gin, take away the Ginebras in the name. Maybe you are more familiar with the San Miguel name, especially if you add beer to the name. Because the beer, the company's San Miguel beer is one of the largest selling beers in the world. But let's take a closer look at this gin here. It is 40% ABV, and the base alcohol used for this gin is made from sugar canes like rum normally is. And the company only tells us that the predominant flavors comes from juniper berries and selected essences from all over the world. And that's it. When you smell it, you get very little hints of juniper berries and very little hints of alcohol. But you get this unexplainable artificial scent. It's really hard to explain. And when you taste it, you definitely get an alcohol punch with some juniper and some citrus notes in it. You get this slight peppery tingle in your throat. It's really sweet, it has these really sweet notes like glycerin has been added. And glycerin adds this thickening texture to a gin, but can also add this very artificial feels like if you have used artificial sweeteners like aspartame or saccharin. It has this strange synthetic feel to it and hardly any aftertaste. You know, I'm sitting here with this so kind of feeling, waiting for something to happen, and it just fades out. Sorry, you guys from the Philippines. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of this local gin here. So, why is this gin so popular? Well, maybe one of the explanations is that this is a very cheap gin in the Philippines. A full 75 centiliter bottle is said to be around 18 Danish kroner or 2.5 euros or around $3. And compare that to the cheapest of the other 4 gins that starts at 85 Danish kroner or 12 euros or 15 US dollars. And why do they drink so much of it? Well, one of the reasons could be because this size bottle here comes with a metal bottle cap as if it was a beer, and once you have opened it, you can't really close it again. So I guess bottoms up, right? Wow. As a little curiosum, the San Miguel Corporation that owns both this gin and the beer also owns a basketball team called Ginebras San Miguel. It is the most popular basketball team in the Philippines with more than 13 championships. Naming the team after a famous alcohol brand is not a new thing to the team. The basketball team has had names like Gilby's Gin Tonic. Later on, it was named Anejo Rum 65, and then Gordon's Gin Boars, and now Ginebra San Miguel. No, I've not been drinking. It's actually the truth. Funny how marketing is done differently around the world, and strange how a gin that covers more than 40% of the total global gin market can be almost unknown here in the gin-loving West. Well, you guys, until next time.